fading river area, the county police are closing roads leading to the Daedalus nuclear power station. Police Lieutenant Neil Johnson has told us that his department is responding to scattered fires inside the Palco compound at the plant. The origin of those fires is not yet known. However, Johnson told us that they are chemical and electrical in nature. He could not elaborate beyond that. CVCN has been trying to get in touch with Palco officials. We have from Washington Dr. Philip Dunmore of the Havensbrook National Laboratory. Dr. Dunmore is a nuclear physicist and is very familiar with the Daedalus plant. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Dunmore.
Thank you.
Dr. Dunmore, what can you tell from the information that is in about what is happening at the Daedalus plant?
It's too early to tell. My guess is that it is simply a fire. However, there is no way of telling at this point how serious it is, and what we are seeing is a typical response.
Well, if it does get more serious, Doctor, what would the next step be?
Well, from all indications, everything is under control, and that is a big but. If there were a problem at the plant, an evacuation may be called for.
And what would that entail?
An evacuation zone of a 5-mile radius from the plant would then be implemented.
Well, will an evacuation be implemented, Doctor?
Oh, I don't think so.
Well, thank you, Dr. Dunmore. Do you mind staying with us as this story unfolds?
Not at all.
That was Dr. Philip Dunmore of the Havensbrook National Laboratory. We would like to remind our stations down the line that we are extending our normal news broadcast to cover this late-breaking story. We want to immediately switch to the county offices in Lower Springs. We have Brenda Kenyon out there, and we understand that the county executive, James Cameron, is about to talk to reporters. Brenda, are you there?
Colin and Kendra, it appears we are about to get a statement.
Could everyone please sit down? Could everyone please sit down so we can make an announcement? I'm Joan Jacobson with the County Executive Office.
Where's the county executive?
We have the following information concerning the Daedalus nuclear power plant. At 11:23 this morning, there was a minor disruption inside one of the main generators. Instead of activating an automatic shutdown, this disruption continued and spread to other areas within the plant.
Were there any casualties?
This resulted in 2 separate fires, one of which causing a significant amount of damage to the core vicinity of the plant. The plant has gone into automatic shutdown. There is the possibility of slight radioactive leakage to the surrounding areas. Now, as a result of this, with the cooperation with the NRC, a limited evacuation has begun. We have no other information at this time.
It is complete chaos here. There has been an accident at the Daedalus nuclear power plant. There are 2 fires, one of which has caused significant damage to the main generator and spread to the core area. There is a limited evacuation. Colin and Kendra, you better take it back. This is all that I have at this time. Brenda Kenyon, CVCN News.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as you saw in that report from Brenda Kenyon, there has been an accident at the Daedalus nuclear power station. The reactor has apparently gone into automatic shutdown, and there has been some radioactive leakage. A limited evacuation has been ordered. This is a limited evacuation, meaning that only people within 5 miles of the plant are to be evacuated. We have a team of reporters on the scene, and we will be staying on the air until this crisis is over. We'll be going to, no we won't, okay. We'll try that in a little while. Meanwhile, live via satellite, we have Dr. Philip Dunmore, who is a nuclear physicist with the Havensbrook National Laboratory in Washington. Dr. Dunmore, thank you for joining us. Doctor, what is the danger?
Well, the reports are still sketchy, Colin. It seems there is a problem in the main generator. The nuclear core has been disturbed.
Excuse me, Doctor, we'll get right back to you, but I understand that we have Brenda Kenyon again at the Palco, at the county headquarters where the Palco is about to make an announcement. Brenda, are you there?
We have a report that the damage is more severe than originally reported. Unfortunately, that has not been confirmed. There is massive confusion, though. We have been told that a Dr. William Harris, Vice President of PALCO, will be addressing us shortly. A number of Nuclear Regulatory Commission officials have entered the building. Congressman Ask just drove up a while ago. Congressman Ask led the charge in trying to get Daedalus online. I haven't spotted Dr. Neuberger yet. Dr. Neuberger is the executive officer of PALCO. Mr. Harris, Dr. Harris is making his way down the hallway to the microphones. We shall be getting that statement momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, there has been an accident at the Daedalus power plant. At this time, we have begun a limited, I repeat, limited 5-mile evacuation. Let me assure you there is no danger.
Were there any casualties?
At about 11:30 this morning, there was a mishap that caused an eccentric load on the main shaft of one of the main generators.
What provisions have been made for the people?
Now, simply speaking, this slowed the revolutions radically and caused a backload on the boiler. This sent temperatures higher than normal, and as a result, there was some core damage. Also, 4 small fires broke out inside the reactor building. Now, all 4 fires have been extinguished.
Were there any casualties?
Yes, I'm sorry to say there were 3 fatalities.
Have their families been notified?
There's 2 plant workers and a volunteer fireman.
Who's handling the evacuation?
PALCO and local police.
Is there any danger of a meltdown?
Absolutely not.
Maternal.
No. All the safety systems have been activated and fully engaged. The plant automatically shut itself down.
Why is there an evacuation if there is no danger?
This is procedure set forth by the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. We're just meeting their requirements.
We've had reports that there's been radioactive.
We have no indication of this at that time.
If there was leakage, would you extend the evacuation?
We're following the procedures set forth by the NRC.
Answer my question, please, sir.
I'm sorry, as we get more information, we'll pass it on to the press. Thank you very much.
Right, and the families are supposed to do. Dr. Harris, as you can see, we're facing a very serious situation. There has been an accident at the Daedalus nuclear power plant. We just spoke to Dr. William Harris, the vice president, and we are assured that we will be kept informed. This is Brenda Kenyon, CN News, reporting.
All right, well, thank you, Brenda. That was a clearly upset Dr. William Harris, Director of Engineering for PALCO at the county headquarters. Before we went to that live report, we were conducting an interview via satellite with Dr. Philip Dunmore, a physicist at the Havensbrook National Laboratory in Washington. And I'd like to thank Dr. Dunmore again for staying with us. Doctor, thank you. Now, Doctor, after hearing the PALCO announcement, can you shed any further light on what may be happening at the power plant?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, there seems to be a malfunction in the main generator. A localized fire must have occurred there. Apparently, it was quickly extinguished.
Dr. Lieutenant Johnson, who was on earlier, spoke about a second and possibly a third fire at the
Well,
plant.
again, I'm only speculating, but my guess is they took place in the core area. When there are sequential fires, as the lieutenant suggested, they often occur simultaneously in the core area.
Dr. Dunmore, what sign do we have that a shutdown has occurred?
Well, I'm not that familiar with the Daedalus shutdown procedure, but I'm sure that the plant is shut down safely. If it hadn't, we would know.